In the summer of 1964, hundreds of students from the North traveled the back roads of Mississippi. They had come to help blacks register to vote.
People were scared of you. You know, you represented potential trouble.
We had all of the reasons that people could possibly give us of why they wouldn't register to vote. I don't want to do that because I don't want my house burned down. I don't want to do that because my son works for Mr. Nutlow, and Mr. Nutlow wouldn't be pleased with this. Who's making you do this, Henry? You know we've gotten along well. Why do you think you have to do this now? Every segment of that process was laden with danger. Known danger for black people.
I live here. I'm not like a man with a suitcase can move at a minute's notice. I said, but I can't march now, but anywhere I can help you, I'll do that. They opened my eyes. It opened a lot of people's eyes. My eyes were already half open, and it just opened them on up.
But there were so many thousands of people who said, yes, I will be there. Even though they knew and had known all of their lives that whites were unequivocally opposed to them voting. But they risked their lives, their jobs, their homes, their families, and they went down to register to vote.
Well, I went up there and I filled out an application. They had all about the Constitution and everything. Some of the questions on there, no doubt, the man would give me the application. I don't believe he knew.
The application was 4 and 5 pages long. And the registrar was an 8th grader. He could not read the applications.
You never didn't know whether you answered them right or wrong. You never did see it no more. I mean, most times they took them and threw them in the garbage can.
At 3 p.m. on June 21, 1964, near Philadelphia, Mississippi, 3 workers were held by the Neshoba County Deputy Sheriff and charged with speeding. Michael Schwerner, a social worker from New York, was easily recognized as an outsider. James Cheney, 21, the son of a maid, was a native of Meridian, Mississippi. Andrew Goodman was also from New York and had, since the age of 14, participated in civil rights protests. At 10 p.m., Sheriff Cecil Price ordered the 3 to return to Meridian. They were soon followed by 2 cars.
The car would pass, then slow down. And then another car would come up behind and then box you in. But once they found the car, you knew. They would never find them alive.
The disappearance of 2 white men in Mississippi immediately focused national attention on Neshoba County. President Johnson ordered 100 FBI and 200 Navy personnel into the county to search the high grass and drag the Pearl River for bodies.
Unfortunately, during that process, they found other bodies, remains of other bodies, of other nameless black people.
A paid informer led the FBI to an earthen dam.
They were beaten, they were tortured before they were actually shot, and they were buried. The night that we knew the bodies had been found, there was tremendous sadness, but also a sense of relief in that finally we knew what had happened. The single incident made America able to come face to face with this racism and the hatred that existed.
The federal government charged Sheriff Price and other Klansmen involved in the killings with civil rights violations. But the state of Mississippi refused to press charges for murder. The focus of the movement now turned to Selma, Alabama, and the neighboring town of Marion, where 50% of the eligible voters were black, but only 1% were registered to vote.
And they had state troopers and every other office they could get, deputized people with guns to prevent us from marching around the courthouse and up and down the street.
On February 3rd, the Marion police arrested 700 black children for marching and jailed a leader for contributing to the delinquency of minors. Inside the Mount Zion Methodist Church, on the evening of February 18th, an organization and prayer meeting was held. Outside, local state police had gathered, reinforced by hundreds they had armed and deputized.
All you could see was a sea of blue, a situation where they had planned to teach us a lesson.
It had come from the direction of Max Cafe, where those fleeing the beating had taken refuge. Jimmy Lee Jackson, a black, had tried to prevent his mother and grandfather from being beaten and had been thrown to the ground by a state trooper.
And picked Jimmy up off the floor and shoved him in a corner and actually shot him in the side. Just took a pistol and stuck it inside and shot him. And as he ran up that hill, they continued to beat him and ran just beyond the church and fell between the church and the post office.
Jimmy Lee Jackson was 26, well-liked, quiet, and the youngest deacon of his church. They would bury him the following Saturday, walking 4 miles in the rain from Marion to the Black Burial Ground just east of town. Angered and saddened by Jimmy Lee Jackson's death, they planned their most ambitious protest. They would walk 54 miles from Selma to the State House in Montgomery and demand to present their grievances to the governor himself.
As we walked from the church, we knew we were walking into probably could have been our last death.
Jim Clark was at the foot of the bridge. On the other side of the bridge, the state troopers were lined up. Cloud said, "Don't go any farther. Stop right where you are." Rozier Williams said, "May I say something?" And Cloud said, "No, you may not say anything."
Disperse. You are ordered to disperse, go home, or go to your church. This march will not continue.
If you tried to go forward, you were going into a heat of battle. You couldn't go to the left or to the right because down below is the Alabama River. And they just beat us all the way back.
Somebody said, "They've got a dead person over there." And his remark was, "Well, let him die. Let the buzzards eat him." The world knew that there was a bloody Sunday. The world knew that the entire road was spotted with blood.
And it wasn't no Civil War, wasn't no World War, and nothing, just people in the same country, same state, fighting against each other.
Right, pick 'em up and lay 'em down.
14 days after the world had witnessed Bloody Sunday, President Johnson asked Congress to pass a new Voting Rights Act and ordered federal troops to watch over the march.
Oh, the mud sure was deep. Right, oh, the hill sure was steep. Right, Lord, I didn't get no sleep.
You had blacks and whites, Protestant, Catholics, and Jews, young people, old people, poor people, rich people. They were just plain people. The march was a coming together of the best of America. We felt like we were in a non-violent army. Remaking Gundy's March to the Sea. Somebody wrote a little song, pick 'em up, lay 'em down, all the way from Selma town. Old Wallace, you never can jealous all.
As far down the street, around the curve, all the way back, nothing but people. Street packed.
The Congress passed the act, but it was the determined people of Selma and the Black Belt of Alabama that wrote it with their marching feet.
I started crying and I couldn't stop. The right to vote, it's over. It is done. It is done.
We stuck together and we overcame, making it better for our children. They didn't have to go through the things that we went through with. It helped us to accomplish some of our dreams.
I have a dream. My 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.